What's up, guys? It's CC&M coming back at you today with another video. And today I'll be showcasing y'all my Salamangreat deck profile. I have just recently started playing this deck, so I'm still learning some of the ins and outs, but I'm going to give y'all what I got so far. I originally pre-ordered the structure decks, and I was planning on building this deck, but everybody and their mother wanted to play and build this deck, so that kind of made me not want to play it. But now, considering that not as many people are playing it and Mirage Stalio came back off the ban list, yeah, I think it's about time to pick this thing up and see where we're going with it. But anyway, let's get right into the deck profile. We play one Salamangreat Gazelle. It's limited, that's why we only play one. It's a pretty good card. If a Salamangreat card is sent to your graveyard, you get to special summon it. Then if this card is normal special summoned, you get to send one Salamangreat card from your graveyard, from your deck to your graveyard. Next, I run two Salamangreat Spinny. This is a little bit debatable now that Mirage Stalio is back. I know a lot of people play it at 3 now. I am trying it out as a 2 of. It seems to be working pretty good for me so far. If you control a Salamangreat card, you can discard this card, target that monster. It gains 500 attack until the end of the turn. And then if you control a Salamangreat monster while this card is in your graveyard, you can special summon it, but it gets banished when it leaves the field. So it's a pretty good monster. Next, I run two Salamangreat Foxy. Once again, this is another card that a good bit of people run at 3, and I can understand why. I've even considered running it at 3. But Salamangreat Foxy says when this card is normal summoned, you can excavate the top 3 cards of your deck and add one Salamangreat card to your hand out of those 3, then shuffle the rest back into the deck. Then it says if this card is in your graveyard and a face-up spell and trap card is on the field, you can discard one Salamangreat card, special summon this card, then you could target one face-up spell and trap card on the field, destroy it. So that's another really good monster. Next, I run two Salamangreat Jaguar. Really good monster, good extender. You pretty much, if this card is in your graveyard, you can shuffle one Salamangreat card from your graveyard into the deck, special summon this to a Link Monsters zone, a Salamangreat Link Monsters zone it points to. So good extender and good way to shuffle back your resources. And now this I know is another oddball choice, but I'll run two Salamangreat Falco. I run 2 of this because I would rather search other things and have this in my hand than having to need this and search it off something like Signet Mining or Circle. So, yeah. And Falco pretty much says if this card is in your graveyard, you can target a Salamangreat monster you control, return it to the hand to special summon this. Then, if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target one Salamangreat monster in the graveyard, one Salamangreat spell or trap card in the graveyard and set that target. So, good spell and trap recursion. And another oddball is two Salamangreat Foul. Pretty much this card says if a Salamangreat monster except itself is normal or special summoned, you can special summon this card from your hand. Fantastic extender. Then it's got a spell pretty much a spell or trap negator. It's not really negating nothing, but it pretty much says you could target a set spell or trap card your opponent controls and they cannot activate that card this turn. So it's somewhat of a negate, if you will. Next, I run 3 Flame Buffalo. This card is very good. I considered running this at 2 and Lady Debug at 2, but I decided to run this at 3 instead. If this face-up card leaves the field, you can discard one Cyberus monster and draw 2 cards. Why would you not want to draw 2 cards? And I do run one Lady Debug because if this card is normal or special summoned, you could add one level 3 or lower Cyberus monster from your deck to your hand. Another searcher. Now, I do run 2 Gizmek Kaku, the Supreme Shining Sky Stag. This is pretty much a free special summon as long as you have a monster in the extra monster zone. And when do you not have a monster in the extra monster zone? Free special summon, free extender, especially with Mirage Stalio back. It locks you into fire type monsters. This is a fire monster. Not to mention, if your opponent has a link monster or any monster in the extra monster zone, you can pretty much relinquish that monster because you special summon this. They have, let's say your opponent has a monster in the extra monster zone. You can attach that monster to this one as a spell trap card. Why would you pretty much not want to take your opponent's monster for free? And for our hand traps, I run 3 Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. Most generic hand trap in the game. It's easily recurable. That can be added back to your hand every turn with Sunlight Wolf. Why would you not want to play this card? Next, for Salamangreat cards, I run 1 Sanctuary and 2 Will of the Salamangreat. Sanctuary, it is a one-of. You can search it with Bay Links, and you can add it back from your graveyard to your hand with a couple other Salamangreat cards. You do not need to run it more than 1. Will is pretty much a free special summon or a soul charge, depending on how many, or depending on what link monster you have. If you have a link 1, link 2, or link 3, because depending on that monster's link rating, you could target it, send this card to the graveyard, and special summon that many monsters up to that monster's link rating. Really good card. Next, we run 1 Salamangreat Circle because it's at 1. It's a searcher for Salamangreats. Run it. Add 1 Salamangreat monster from your deck to your hand. Awesome. Next, we run 3 Cynet Mining. Send 1 card from your hand to the graveyard. Add 1 level 4 or lower Cyberus monster from your deck to your hand. Why not? Now, I'm going to show you 2 cards. You might think, why would I want to play that in this time? Especially the first one. But guess what? I run the 2 best Negator Baiters. That's right. These are the Negator Baiters. I promise you, if your opponent has a bunch of monsters, and at least 1 or 2 of them have a negate, they're going to negate that if you activate that. Same thing with Harpy's Feather Duster. If your opponent has a bunch of back row and has a Solemn Judgment, I promise you they're going to pay half their life points to negate that. These 2 cards are Negator Baiters. And for the last one we play 1 Called by the Grave because it can easily be a disruption on your opponent's turn, or, it could save your butt if your opponent has an Ash Blossom or something like that. And for the Salamangreat traps, we run 2 Rage and 2 Roar. I like 2 and 2, personally, from what I've been testing and playing. You could easily open up one or the other or both. I mean, there's several things that is good about running these at 2 of, but pretty much Salamangreat Roar is, as long as you control a Salamangreat link monster, you can negate a monster effect or a spell or trap card that your opponent activates. It's an Omni negate. Why would you not run this card? Salamangreat Rage easily is a pop 2 on your opponent's side of the field, because if you control let's say Sunlight Wolf, which is a link 2, and it was link summoned using itself as material, you can pop 2 monsters because it's a link 2. Now, if you was to do Heatlio, which is a link 3, and it was link summoned using itself, you can pop 3 cards on your opponent's field. Why would you not run these? Awesome. Very awesome. And I run 3 Solemn Strike. Hey, you can play traps in this deck. Why not play some Solemns? If your opponent special summons a monster or activates a monster effect, pay $1,500, negate it. And for the last of the main deck, last of the hand traps, and last of the traps, we run 3 infinite permanents. Why not? We like slowing down our opponent, you know, that sort of deal. All right, next we're going to go to the extra deck. We run 3 Salamangreat Banlists, easy link 1 to summon, level 4 or lower Cyburst monster. When this card is link summoned, you can add 1 Salamangreat Sanctuary from your deck to your hand. Then, if this card is in your graveyard and any Salamangreat monster is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can banish this monster from your graveyard instead. So if you got 3 Salamangreat monsters on your field and your opponent activates Regeki, you can banish this, save all 3 monsters. Why would you not run this? You've got to run this. No ifs, ands, buts about it. Next, I run 3 Salamangreat Sunlight Wolf. Folks, this makes the deck. Honestly, it just requires 2 fire effect monsters. And if a monster is normal or special summoned to a zone this card points to, except during the damage step, you can add 1 fire monster from your graveyard to your hand. But for the rest of that turn, you cannot normal special summon it or activate that monster's effect. So guess what? If you use the Ash Blossom already that turn, because it says for the rest of this turn, let's just happen to say you activated Ash Blossom, for example, before you summon this. You link this, you link summon this, and then you normal or special summon a monster to a zone it points to, which would be down here. You could easily add that Ash Blossom right back and use it on your opponent's turn. Then, oh, I've got a brain fart. Hold on. Crap. Okay, during your main phase, if you control this monster that was link summoned using itself as material, you can add 1 Salamangreat spell or trap card from your graveyard to your hand. Spell or trap recursion as well. Next, I run 2 Salamangreat Yugioh. Some people have taken this out. I still like it. Well, I say I still like it. I've only been playing this for a little bit. You get what I'm saying, though, okay? I've tried it without it. Let's just say this. There's some things that I'd rather have and not need than need it and not have it. And every time I needed it and I didn't have it, that hurt. I'll say that. Next, for a couple 1-ofs in the extra deck, I want to run 1 Transcode Talker, 1 Boral Sword Dragon. I don't have access code talker, so I'm running these link 4s to kind of help. These 2 link 4s to kind of help with OTK and, you know, stuff like that. So run 1 Transcode, 1 Boral Sword, 1 Boral Load, and 1 Firewall Dragon. Okay, I don't have access code, so I'm running these 3 instead of other stuff. So yeah, what can I say? And next for my black cards, Xyz, I want Mirage Stelio, Baguska, and Dweller. Hey, all I gotta say is I got a horse in the back. Okay. Now, after that is all said and done, people, that has been it for this deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you would, as always, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.